What's up, everybody? We're back. Christian's here again. Kyle, obviously, we're stuck with him no matter what. This is our 16th episode. We're doing a Week 11 recap, and we're doing our Week 12 outlook. We're going to get it all done in one. So,
Let's
Kyle, if you want to start us off.
Yeah, I'll start it out. So we're going to get quickly into a recap, 3 or 4 games, talk a little bit about what happened this week, and then we'll get right into Week 12. So the episode will be mostly about Week 12. A lot of games coming up, 3 good Thanksgiving games. Should be a good day to watch some football, and then we got a lot of Sunday games, a lot of divisional games this week. So we'll get into it, and I just want to start by saying, before we get into the recap, we're not going to recap the Giants-Bucks game, but for all my Giants fans out there, Daniel Jones might be the worst quarterback in the NFL. And now I'm not overreacting to that one throw, but you can't sit here and tell me he's worse than Sam Darnold.
I don't know. I don't think he knows how to throw a football.
I have no opinion on that. It's just...
He overthrows a lot. Did
you see the one he literally put on the lineman's lap yesterday?
Yeah, I did see that one.
Defensive lineman. It's just like, and you add the fumbles on top of that stupid throw. It's just.
I think the Giants and the Jets both are cursed, and they've been cursed. It's just Eli Manning somehow won 2 Super Bowls as a wild card team.
I mean, that's fair.
He can throw the ball really high in the air, and he just had really big receivers.
Yeah. I think, Daniel Jones.
I just Kiwanuka last weekend.
Really?
Yeah, he was at a hockey game. I was like, nah, I like your Jordans, man. He's like, thanks.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So that's my take. I mean, Daniel Jones is Sam Darnold with a fumble issue. That's all it is. All right, so we'll get into the first recap. We had the Chiefs and the Cowboys. Chiefs won 19-9. Who wants to take that one to start?
Chiefs, Cowboys.
I'm gonna say when the Chiefs played the Raiders, I said that they would be back. They came back. They looked like the old Chiefs. They looked like the old Chiefs again last week. They only scored 19 points, but I think the Chiefs are back to being the favorite in the AFC.
Ooh,
that's
favorite?
That's a take. I mean, I wouldn't say favorite yet. I say they're on their way. Let's see how they do this week. There's potential there.
I don't know if there is a favorite in the AFC right now.
There isn't.
I think the NFL's the most wide open it's been since I've been alive.
Ever. I like it, but from a betting standpoint, it's so hard.
Well, I mean, we got teams like the Titans that can only lose to bad teams.
I'm pretty sure in the AFC and the NFC, there's like 11 or 12 teams on each side that can make the playoffs, which is nuts.
Yeah, the Titans. The Titans. I don't even know if they're a contender. They're 8-3. They have the best record, but
I can't get a read on almost. There's almost no team in the NFL I can get a read on besides the Buccaneers.
I mean, I would say the Cardinals are, but they can't be because they're just hurt.
They could lose a playoff game at any time.
Yeah. So I mean, the Chiefs, are they back?
Titans Wade Peterson. Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, they did.
Just saw that.
So you look into this game and you're like, holy shit, they beat the Cowboys, who are probably one of the best teams in the NFC. You think, Jared says every day now, oh my God, the Chiefs are back. But are they really?
Yes.
Pat Mahomes didn't throw a touchdown. He threw 250, something like that. Didn't throw a touchdown. Pat Mahomes didn't play well.
I'm not ready to say
if the Chiefs are winning games and Mahomes is not even on, it's going to be scary.
Yeah, their defense definitely looked better. Chris Jones is definitely a game changer for them. But it's the same old Cowboys, man. They go as Dak goes, like we said. 216 yards, 2 picks, no touchdowns.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, that's a fact.
They go as he goes.
Yeah, I think Dak's still kind of messed up from whatever he was hurt with. Or what was he?
He's just so inconsistent.
I don't know. He just doesn't look the same as he did in the beginning of the year.
Not at all.
I don't know if he might be the QB that they paid money. Like, I don't think he's worth the money.
I think he will be. I still think he's the same.
I think anybody could be pretty.
He also played without Amari Cooper. CeeDee Lamb got hurt in the second quarter, so he was throwing to Cedric Wilson as his main target.
And he got Gallup. But
Gallup.
I don't know.
But once those 2 guys are out, you just bracket Gallup and take everybody else away.
I feel like there's certain teams that the universe has a bias against. Like the Cowboys, they always get screwed.
The Jets
always get screwed. The Giants.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. The Browns.
That's how it goes.
The Bengals. Like, can you see the Bengals in the Super Bowl? It's never going to happen. They're good, but it's not going to happen.
Don't count Joe Burrow out.
We're not counting out Joe Burrow.
As a division rival of the Steelers, I like watching them play, but I just don't think the NFL would ever let the Bengals make a Super Bowl.
I can agree with that.
In the near future.
Yeah, we'll see.
I like that take.
Next game we'll get into, Gavin, we'll touch upon your Patriots again. Thursday night game, Patriots beat the Falcons 25-0.
Like I said.
Mac Jones is being praised again.
Fun fact, I maxed my bookie out, but I would have bet the Patriots.
Yeah.
But I had 0 balance because I lost $400 on the Rams. Well, it wasn't all me, but I split it with somebody because he wanted me to do it, and it lost.
Yeah, the Rams suck.
The Rams have lost Gavin a lot of money this year.
Yes, they have. I hate the Rams.
I have a future in the division on them, and they are just blowing
I also have that future. Let's stay on topic here, though. Patriots, Falcons. Gavin, you watched the game. I mean, you probably fell asleep, but...
Of course I did.
Did you watch the highlights or anything?
I watched most of the game, and then I saw the score, and I was like, the Falcons aren't going to score a point. And they didn't.
That's fair.
This is the first time in my lifetime I'm kind of cheering for the Patriots.
Make a point.
Because
I prove that Bill is that good.
Because I grew up hating Tom Brady, beating the Steelers, but now it's like doesn't make sense that they're this good, so it's kind of cool that they're good.
I feel like people like Tom Brady a lot more, and people like the Patriots a lot
more.
They separated them, now I like both of them.
I love Tom Brady.
Because like the Patriots, like last year I bet them to under win total, and it hit by a lot. But this year they have a rookie QB. They don't have a single like name brand player on their offense, and they're just good.
Very true.
But
it's Bill Belichick.
After watching this game, I saw another post of Mac Jones being compared to Tom Brady. Can we stop? Can we stop with the whole rookie of the He's done. This game, he proved he's not the rookie of the year, in my opinion.
You put a QB in that system, it's not that hard to be good.
That's my point. Matt Castle won 11 games with Bill Belichick. Look where Matt Castle did in his career.
So why can't you compare him to Tom Brady? He's in the system as a rookie QB, and he's like a pocket passing smart QB.
I just think we need a halt on the Mac Jones. 22 of 26 looks sexy.
You need to shut your
207
mouth
yards.
Mac Jones
he does all
it's just like I need to shut my mouth about him, but so does everybody else in the media. It's like there's no happy medium.
It's just a topic.
There's no one else to talk about as a rookie QB.
Yes,
the other four are terrible.
Yes,
well, there's 5. What's his name in Mills on the Texans too? The other 5 are junk.
Davis Mills doesn't count.
Okay,
you can't talk about Trey Lance. You can't talk about.
You can talk about Trevor Lawrence every single game.
He stinks. He doesn't stink, but there's nothing to talk about. I mean, they lose. He does all right.
What is there to talk about with Mac Jones? That he has a high.
They're winning games, dude. He has more wins than the other 4 combined.
So you're talking about the other team.
What?
You're talking about the Patriots. You're talking about the team. You're not talking about Mac.
But you need a quarterback who can play good, apparently, because if those teams had good quarterbacks, they'd be winning games.
The best defense he played all year was the Panthers. He threw for 139 yards.
It's just the narrative that
they won the game. Do what it takes to win. You're skipping like Christian said. You're skipping the narrative of who's doing good as a quarterback. Yes, he has the best team.
Why is that a narrative? No one's doing good as a quarterback. Mac Jones, in my opinion, isn't doing well. He's winning games because he has the best team out of all the quarterbacks. Sorry. His team's winning him games. He's not winning his team games.
This argument. I mean, he's playing well. He's doing his
Kyle's
job. Winning
Kyle's
games.
a hater.
He's not playing well.
You're a hater. You're a hater.
He's not playing well.
Kyle, if Zach Wilson was winning games with 150 yards, you would be sucking him dry.
Well, I'd say that we're winning games because of our team.
Fact.
If
Zach Wilson was going 22 for 26 for 150 yards and a touchdown, you'd be like, oh my god.
He's so good rookie.
Oh my god, next Joe Namath. You know you would.
Well, first of all, don't ever compare Mac Jones to Joe Namath.
He's better. I was saying if Zach Wilson was doing this, you would be like, oh, the next... You were on Mike White after one game.
That was a joke. Every Jets fan.
No, it wasn't.
Every Jets fan said
they say it was a joke.
Every Jets fan said it was a joke.
Oh, brother.
He was horrible. We'll move on. I'm done talking about Mac Jones. Packers Vikings. I think I was the only person in the world to bet the Vikings money line. Vikings won 34-31. But there was 3 scores in the last 4 minutes of this game. Crazy game. We watched it together.
I was listening to part of my take, and they were doing.
I lost money on it.
They were doing the 3 teams you don't want to see right now, and they said
Vikings.
They said Vikings, 49ers, Colts, and I would agree with
100% agree with all 3.
And the Patriots.
I would love to see the Patriots right now.
What?
I would love to see the Patriots right now.
Did they score 50 on the Jets?
They've played nobody good. They've literally played nobody good.
So why would you want to see them? You're not good.
Because they're not good. I'm not talking as a Jets fan.
They put 50 on my head. I want to see them.
I'm not talking as a Jets fan. I'm not saying it as a Jets fan. I'm saying if I was a coach of a team that's a contender or even a decent team, I'd love to
I have
play
a
the
huge
Patriots.
bet on the Bills division, and I just hedged it with the Patriots. So that's how I feel.
Yeah.
You just hedged it with the Patriots?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Dude, when we're done with this, I want you to go stand on the road. I'm going to hit you with my car. I'm going to run you the hell over.
Wait, what was
You're doing me a favor if I don't have to hear the words
we
Mac Jones
got
again.
to get back on Vikings-Packers here. I think the Vikings are like an anomaly just like the Patriots. Like, the Patriots are good and we don't know how. The Vikings are like...
The Vikings should have...
The Vikings should be good and we don't know... Like, literally, the Vikings could show up and you don't even know if they're going to win or lose or get
they're probably missing
I don't know.
I mean,
the Vikings literally are like a calculus problem. I have no clue. I just sit back and let it happen.
The Vikings have a decent defense. And
I thought they had a terrible defense.
Top 5 running back and a top 10 receiver.
Well, they got 2 really good receivers.
And if Kirk Cousins shows
Justin
up...
Jefferson's top 10.
If Kirk Cousins shows up...
That's the thing.
He's pretty good.
The Vikings are
that... Don't put him in prime time.
The Vikings are that 7 seed you don't want to see in the wild card round. That's all.
100%. If it's a 1 o'clock game. If you're playing at night.
Once again, let me pull up the standings. Like, the NFC especially is like...
so open.
We got...
It's nuts. I mean, I love the Vikings.
Rams, Minnesota, New Orleans in the wild card. Then we got San Fran a game back, Philly a game back, Carolina a game back, Washington 2 games, Atlanta. Like, there's... Every team but 4 in the NFC has a chance. Like, the Seahawks could win out with Russell Wilson. I don't know. Like, the only teams that you can really count out in the NFC are the Giants, Bears, and Lions. That's it. Other ones are all frisky at the least. least.
That's fair. I love the Vikings as a team to bet. They're undervalued every single week.
Oh, I have them
Every
Vikings
single
money
week.
line next week.
They're always undervalued because it's not the sexy bet. There's a couple teams that are the sexy bet. The Bucks, the Rams. They're not one
Packers.
of them. The Packers. Yeah, exactly. That's why I was the only person in the world to bet the Vikings.
Yep.
All right, so we'll move on. We're gonna move on to our Week 11 outlook. But before we do that, we're gonna do a little segment, or Week 12 outlook. Sorry, we're gonna do a little segment called Contender or Pretender. We've done it in the past.
Oh, I like this.
We're going to go through about 6, 7, 8 teams. Gavin's going to list them off. We're going to say if they're a
more
contender.
like 10 or 11 teams.
We're going to say if they're a contender or a pretender in our minds. Give a little outlook on why we think so. And then we'll move on to our Week 12 outlook. So go ahead, Gavin.
Okay. Cowboys. Start off there.
You want to go down the line every time?
Define can win the Super Bowl.
So contender is they're competing for a Super Bowl.
Yes.
We're not talking about playoff contention. We're talking competing for a Super Bowl. Cowboys, yes. They are contender.
As of
they are
right
contender.
now?
Because, as I said...
Am I talking about the season as a trend or like...
No, you're talking about like
today.
Like today.
Do you think
based on their past few games?
Yes, based on the whole season
right
so
now.
far.
If you,
that's so tough because 3 weeks ago I would have said contender. Now I say pretender.
I'm gonna say contender because again, I believe in Dak and they go as Dak goes. If Dak plays well, they're one of the most talented teams in the NFC in my
and that's why I'm saying pretender because you're going with Dak.
I'm gonna say contender. We'll leave it there.
I bet them to win the NFC, and I don't know if I like that.
I don't know if I like that. But
no,
when'd you bet it?
Either.
I don't know. A few weeks ago when they were cooking.
Bills.
Micah Parsons, rookie of the year, great bet by me.
Oh, great bet. I said it before the year too. I just didn't bet. I didn't like the odds. It was like I got like plus 300. I didn't like that.
I had 500, and I did it. I did it because I used to be in a Madden league with his brother. He's like, "Yo, my brother's at Penn State." I'm like, "Cool, man." Now he's like the best defensive.
He's actually disgusting.
Yes, that was cool.
Next one, guy. What we got?
Bills.
Contender.
Bills.
Contender because 1, the AFC is weak.
Yep.
2, I believe in their defense. And 3, they were in the AFC Championship last year, so they have playoff experience.
Contender. Every team has a bad week. It's a week-by-week situation in the NFL. We are not in crunch time yet. They're going to have a playoff spot. They'll figure it out. Their defense is good. I don't get why they don't have a running back at this point. Like,
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Why have they still
Should be a
not
priority.
invested in a running back? I don't get it. Like, Singletary's not it.
Not a first-round draft pick, but it should be an off-season
Imagine the
priority.
Bills with, like, a Jonathan Taylor type. That'd be...
They'd be
the
unstoppable.
best team in the NFL.
Their offensive line was also just not good at run blocking, so that didn't really help.
Yeah, but Jonathan Taylor makes it work
They just
anyway.
stick with Josh Allen.
Gavin?
I'm saying contender just because of how wide open the AFC is, and if they can make it to the Super Bowl, I mean, anything's what it is. I mean, look at the Rams; they lose to anybody now. Then we got the Bucks. That's pretty obvious, I think.
Contender, no explanation needed. Next one.
Can't wait to
Colts.
live there.
Colts, pretender. And I was
Really?
absolutely huge on Jonathan Taylor this year. Love Jonathan Taylor. Think they have a solid defense. Don't believe in their weapons other than Jonathan Taylor. Pittman, he's a good receiver too. He's obviously a top lead in the leaderboards. I believe he's top 10 receiving yards. I like him. Still not convinced he's a wide receiver 1 yet. And I don't trust Carson Wentz at all, especially in the postseason.
I'll say this. I was wrong, hand up. I said Jonathan Taylor would be a terrible first-round fantasy pick, and now that's clearly wrong.
So did Jared, and so did half my
Because,
fantasy group chat.
I don't know. He just turned it on like he looks like he's at Wisconsin again. But I'm going to say pretender solely because it's Carson Wentz.
I am going to completely agree with Christian. And that's exactly what I was going to say. Pretender, just because of Carson Wentz. I have no faith in Carson Wentz whatsoever.
And before we move on from the Colts, I just want to say, if the season ended tomorrow, which obviously it doesn't, Jonathan Taylor would be the MVP. He has to be.
I don't get it.
Fair.
How. I don't even know, dude. There's like it's just so even this year.
He has to be
That's why I'm
MVP.
saying
I
fair.
mean, we had Matt Stafford in our top 3 when I sat down here last time.
Well,
so.
then he just had shit bricks.
And then he
I
had
guess.
2 bad weeks in a row.
I really don't know. Tom Brady, I guess. Still.
Right now, it's in my mind, it's Jonathan
I'm
Taylor.
going with Jonathan Taylor.
Ever since they started
He had
giving him the
5
carries he
TDs
needs.
this week.
Ever since they started giving the carries they need, the first 4 weeks
Is he
they're
about
0-4.
to do like 2,000 yards?
Not 2,000 yards,
No.
no. Because the first 4 weeks,
But there's
they
an
didn't-
extra game this year.
Right. I still don't know if I get 2,000
I don't
yards.
think he'll hit
But the
2,000.
first 4 weeks, they didn't give Frank Reich didn't give him the carries he deserved. And now he's finally seeing you give Jonathan Taylor the
just-
ball and feed
yeah.
him. Good things
Even
happen.
like a QB, there's not one that like stands out.
That's what I'm saying. Like Jonathan Taylor to me stands out. He's leading the league in rushing, touchdowns besides James Conner, I believe.
Titans.
Titans contender or pretender. Sorry.
I was gonna say
Is
you
there
definitely
is
did
there,
not.
is there a
need to say
possibility
that.
Derrick Henry
Pretender.
comes back?
Week 17, I think.
I think even if Derrick Henry does come
Or
back, I think they're
Contenders.
pretenders.
Contender.
I think they're frauds.
I don't.
They're
Weren't they the
bottom.
AFC chip last year?
No.
or like deep in the playoffs? They've been. I
No,
bet
they
them
weren't
against the
last
Pats
year.
that one year when Brady was there, and that was the best bet of my life.
I think they played the Bills last year in the AFC divisional.
Yes, they did.
But
There's a thing in my head that makes me feel like Henry plays better when it gets cold out and it becomes.
well,
true.
it's harder to tackle him.
Like every year by December,
If you get hit by a man that big, that cold,
Their
you
one
just
run, like
grab him.
he was just rushing for whatever he wanted in the playoffs. It was sick.
Yeah.
So if he comes back, contender 100%. I have a bet Bucks Titans. Don't forget that 20 to win $2,000. Super Bowl.
Not too bad.
I don't believe in Tannehill. Julio Jones isn't what we thought he was anymore, and A.J. Brown can't stay on the field.
He just
And
doesn't
their
get the
defense
ball,
is
bro.
still horrible.
I have him on my fantasy team. They throw to somebody else other than him. I don't get.
If
why.
they make the playoffs and
They're
Derrick
making the
Henry
playoffs.
comes back,
They're 8-3.
that's contender.
They could probably almost.
Yeah,
lose
but
out.
they've lost to.
They could probably lose out and make
Jets
the
and
playoffs.
Texans. They lost to the Texans.
You guys almost lost to the Texans.
Yes, but we were
Should have
good
lost to
then.
the Texans.
Yeah, we should have lost to the Texans. We weren't good then.
We don't talk
have
about that,
figured it
though.
out. We don't need to talk about that because we
Matt
didn't
Jones
lose.
couldn't score on the Texans for 3 quarters.
We didn't lose. We didn't lose.
Damn, we got a lot of teams.
Yeah, Rams.
Contender.
They're a contender.
They
They're,
have to be.
they're
They have
obviously,
to.
Yeah, I mean,
on
that's-
paper, they're the
they
most
have to.
talented
That's
roster
easy.
in the league.
They just went. They
I still believe
they
in
put their
Stafford.
nuts on the table and said, "We're all in right
Yeah.
now."
I still believe in
They
Stafford.
did.
Although
They have to be.
Von Miller is not even close to what he used to be. He
No.
looked horrible.
Looks
George Kittle put him on his ass like multiple
George
times.
Kittle bullied him.
Robert Woods.
That
might
was
be,
hilarious.
Robert Woods might have been the difference maker.
He's a secret sauce, man.
Yeah.
He was a secret. And Odell's a team
Odell,
cancer, though.
yeah,
So
Odell.
I'm kind of convincing myself into saying pretender, but I'm going to stay with
They
contender.
I
gotta
just
be
can't believe
contender
the
just
Cardinals
'cause of the
keep
roster.
winning. It's making me angry.
Patriots, contender, pretender.
Contender.
Not even answering this question.
All right.
Pretender.
Contender.
Mac Jones.
You said you weren't answering the question. Don't talk.
Mac Jones, Super Bowl
Just
contender.
fundamentally.
Mac Jones and Super Bowl shouldn't be in the same
See,
sentence.
There you go.
When you look at the Patriots, this is everything I wish the Steelers could be. Really good defense, great execution. I don't know what you're throwing your pen for.
Dude, because he's just.
They just play such. You should, as a football purist, you should appreciate how they play, but you just can't get over
Because
yourself.
I do appreciate how they play.
He needs to grow up.
They don't. They
I
probably
actually,
turn it over.
I
I'm
actually think the
watching them.
Patriots are a fun team to watch.
They play great defense.
But Mac Jones and the Super Bowl should not be in the same
I
sentence.
have them on my fantasy team. They had like 26 fantasy points on defense. That's sick. I just think they play football that can win you games no matter what. Like you're not
Eventually-
you're not dependent on a QB or a running back. They're just a whole team with a great coach.
Yes.
Eventually, they're going to play one of these high-octane offenses. They're going to play the Bills 2 out of 3 weeks, and we'll come back and
About the
revisit
Warriors,
this.
man. I wish this was a basketball podcast.
We'll come back and revisit this.
Packers.
My Warriors. Are great.
Packers contender. Their defense, besides this week to the Vikings,
Yeah,
but
that was.
Pretender. Aaron Rodgers wants to come to Pittsburgh.
well, I think he does want out, but I still think it's Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. Aaron Jones also missed this game. Aaron Jones comes back. They're a contender.
I think
They're
Aaron
contender.
Rodgers is not. There.
I think Aaron Rodgers still wants to win another Super
I don't
Bowl.
think he
though.
cares
I think
about-
that would be the ultimate
He'll, like,
mic drop for him
throw
to leave the team.
He'll
after
throw an
winning the
unreal
Super Bowl.
pass and be like, "I'm bored." Like he just looks bored and.
But that's how you mic drop leaving a team.
I just-
You win a Super Bowl and
I
you're
don't-
like, I'm done.
I
I'm
don't-
not playing for you
I don't think the
anymore.
Packers.
They're good enough. They have the
They're
potential.
good,
They do.
but
They
they're
do.
not. I don't think they're a Super Bowl team.
Chiefs.
Contender.
Contender.
I already said this.
Contender.
Contender.
No,
we already
Obviously,
talked about it.
it's just a contender.
We already basically gave our thoughts. Is that it?
Cardinals. If
Cardinals.
they're healthy.
Pretender.
Ooh, explain that one.
I just have a really big bias against them because of my Rams bet. Like, how do they? I don't know. They just keep winning.
I
Doesn't
think
make
if
any
they're
sense.
healthy, their offense is unbelievable.
They're winning without D-Hop and without Kyler, who was an MVP
Yeah,
front
they also
runner.
And if they're healthy, their offense is that much
The
better.
playoffs are a completely different season.
It is.
No one on the Cardinals has
100%.
playoff experience.
D-Hop does to an extent, does he
No,
not?
doesn't.
He
Like
played
a
in one.
wild
He played in one
card
playoff
a
game.
wild card legend on the
Yeah.
Texans. They always play at 1:00 on Saturday and they always lose.
I'm going to go with contender just because, I mean, Colt McCoy is one of the best backups in the league, but if you're missing an MVP contender and you're missing consensus top 3 receiver in the league and you're still winning ball games
I
against
can see the team
good
like the
teams,
Vikings beating the Cardinals at home in the playoffs.
I mean, I would probably take the spread. I don't know what that spread would be, but I would probably lean spread in the Vikings. I think that would be a very
It's
square
also
game
the
to beat the
hardest year to make
Cardinals.
predictions ever.
It would.
Yeah. Ravens.
Nah,
Pretender.
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 Tell me the last time.
Once again, the playoffs are a different season. Lamar Jackson is not that
He's
guy.
not, yeah.
Yeah,
In
he's
the
not.
cold, too.
He's not that guy.
If he has to go play in the cold, forget about
I
it.
was going to make a point, but I'll save it for the Jalen Hurts conversation later.
Fair
'Cause
enough.
I'll tie it into Lamar.
All
So
right,
we're
all right.
done?
Yeah,
oh,
please.
speaking of which, perfect time. Jalen Hurts conversation.
Yes.
Now, before I say my piece, I want you guys to give your thoughts on Jalen Hurts. Is he the real deal? Has Philly found their quarterback?
I'm not going to say they found their quarterback, but he's definitely outperforming what, I mean, myself and I think most people probably thought. Most people probably thought, no, he's not going to be. He's not a passer. He's not an NFL quarterback.
Is he outperforming?
He's a running back.
Is he outperforming what you thought because of what he's doing, or because his team is winning?
I mean, he's
He's doing crazy.
He got, 2,300 passing yards. He's only thrown 6 or 7 picks. How many? 13 touchdowns. He's ran the ball for, I got that written down here, 618 yards and 8 rushing touchdowns on 114 carries.
Yeah.
That's
Jalen Hurts is who Jalen Hurts is, and the Eagles figured out.
He's their leading rusher.
The Eagles figured out how to use him.
He is their offense.
With their offensive line, which is great. They figured out how to use him in the rushing attack and keep them off balance with passing with Devontae Smith and Jalen Reagor. And
he's playing quarterback and running back.
He's good. I would rock it with him. I mean, the Ravens found Lamar. Why can't they have Jalen?
Yeah.
On the Eagles.
I like it.
Okay, well, I don't think Jalen Hurts should be compared to unanimous MVP Lamar Jackson just yet.
I don't think
We're just saying the play style.
Unanimous MVP.
I mean, he ran for 1,000 yards and threw for 3,000 and had like 35 total touchdowns that year.
And they were a regular season.
I don't want to stand up for
as
Lamar.
Usual.
All right, well here's my question to you.
I think Jalen Hurts can be a Lamar Jackson type player.
So if you're the Eagles,
the
GM, right, and you're in a position to,
they have a ton of picks. They're gonna get it. They're gonna be good.
Are you picking quarterback or are you rolling with Jalen Hurts?
What? Obviously.
Rolling with Jalen Hurts.
I'm picking quarterback.
You're an idiot. And that's why.
Here's my question. Here's my question to you. Before I dive into Jalen Hurts, name me the last quarterback that has won a Super Bowl that was mainly a running quarterback. Name me one.
So why are the Ravens still with Lamar
Can you name me one?
I
I'll answer it for you. There never has been one. The closest you could say is Russell Wilson, but if you say he's a running quarterback, then we have a problem.
But like Christian just said, then why would they stay? Why would the Ravens stay with Lamar Jackson? What the hell's the point?
Is Lamar Jackson not better?
What's the point of that statement?
Lamar Jackson not better than Jalen Hurts? Is Lamar Jackson not better than Jalen Hurts?
What does that? I'm not arguing
Lamar
that, but
Jackson-
he's still a running quarterback.
Is Lamar Jackson not a better?
You just said the
passer?
Cardinals are a contender with Kyler Murray. So
Yeah,
you're just
We're
completely.
comparing
Patrick
Kyler Murray to
Mahomes,
Jalen Hurts.
he runs the ball. He runs the ball all the time.
That's
I think
just
that's
a
Super
second
Bowl he
round.
ran for.
Kyler Murray's a mobile
Oh
quarterback.
my God.
Patrick Mahomes ran for like 80 yards.
We're
in
gonna
the
say
Super
Pat
Bowl.
Mahomes is a running quarterback.
No.
Gavin,
No,
guys,
I'm just
Jalen
saying.
Hurts is averaging 209 passing yards per game, and granted, two of his best games in the year, 387 yards against the Chiefs. They're losing by 20 in the fourth quarter. Against the Cowboys, 326 yards. They're losing by 20 in the fourth quarter. So you take those 2 games out of it, he's averaging less than 200 yards per game passing through the air. Sorry, I want my quarterback to be able to throw the ball. Glad you can run. That's awesome. That's why I'll use you in a Taysom Hill.
He's got 2,300 passing yards.
I'll use him in a Taysom Hill. He's averaging 209 yards per game.
So
Passing.
whatever
You're not going
works.
to win. You're not going to go anywhere in the NFL if your quarterback can't throw the ball.
They've
He's
won
not an
games.
accurate passer.
What are they on,
He's
three-game
not.
winning streak? 3-game winning streak?
Who they played?
I mean, that's.
If I'm the Eagles, I've just come so far. Like Carson Wentz was almost it, and then he wasn't.
Carson Wentz was very good before his ACL injury.
You have to stick with a guy, and I'm saying
And
you're
then
not
they
going to
came in-
draft another quarterback
did
when
they draft
Jalen
him
Hurts
his
is playing
first
that
round?
good.
What? No, second round.
Okay. Anyways,
But I guess it's a perspective thing.
we've
Like,
seen him
my
with the Jets.
perspective-
Like you're just gonna stay.
My perspective is, I want a quarterback. As it seems, the most successful quarterbacks are quarterbacks who are accurate passers, who can make the right reads in the passing
so
game.
if the Eagles-
I'm not convinced Jalen
If
Hurts
the
can do
Eagles,
that.
okay, let's say the Eagles make the playoffs and win a playoff game this year, you're gonna draft a QB.
Yeah, I want a quarterback who can throw
If
the
it ain't
ball.
broke, don't fix it.
Like, I'm not a big Lamar guy, but obviously I've said he's top 7 multiple times. But at least he can throw the football.
Watch
At least
Jalen
Lamar
Hurts.
Jackson can throw the football.
Lamar Jackson has a terrible arm. You're gonna say Jalen Hurts' arm is significantly worse than
I'm not a Lamar
Jackson.
guy, but he does not have a terrible arm.
Does Jalen Hurts have a terrible arm?
No, but he's inaccurate. He has arm
So is Lamar
strength.
Jackson. How many times have you seen Lamar throw a terrible pass?
many times.
Wobbler, duck, out of bounds.
Overthrows.
You guys, like, can you believe what's happening right
You're
now?
just-
I'm standing up for Lamar right now.
You're putting 2 people that are
Because you're shit talking Jalen Hurts for no reason.
How are we comparing?
You're shit talking Jalen
We're
Hurts and
comparing
backing Lamar
Lamar
Jackson.
Jackson.
And they're
We're
almost the same
comparing-
type of player.
They're not even close to the same type of player. Lamar Jackson can throw the ball. That's my point. He has that element to his game that Jalen Hurts does not have.
What?
Lamar Jackson can throw the
I
football.
think Jalen Hurts is a better passer than Lamar Jackson
Oh my
is.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God!
I want to go to bed.
I need to move on from this conversation
Yeah,
before I have a
go down.
stroke in the middle of the camera.
Do it.
Oh my God! Guys, you take out those 2 games. He's losing by 20 in the fourth quarter. He's averaging less than 200 yards per game. I want a quarterback who can throw the football.
How many of those yards came in the fourth quarter?
mean-
How many of those passing yards came in the fourth quarter?
I don't know the exact stat.
Jalen Hurts
So
has-
what does that point mean?
Jalen Hurts
What does
has-
that make then?
Buddy,
2,300
he has
yards.
the most fourth quarter passing yards in the league this year.
Okay,
Because
yes,
he's losing the fourth
but
quarter
how,
multiple times.
But how many of those passing yards came in the fourth quarter of both of
Kevin,
those games?
how many Eagles games have you watched this year?
0.
Exactly. So why are we even taking your opinion into consideration? How many Eagles games have you watched?
How many have you watched?
I bet the Eagles at least 5 times
But
this
that
season.
doesn't mean you've watched the
I don't
game.
bet
I
on
have
Eagles
watched
games
them.
anymore.
So you guys haven't
My
watched the
final
Eagles games.
verdict is this.
So these guys haven't watched the Eagles, and I have.
Apparently Kyle doesn't think quarterbacks can improve, so
No, I do.
they just need to restart.
I do.
Even though they've made all this progress with Jalen Hurts to restart. I don't know. I'd say you keep him.
He's a serviceable backup
I say
quarterback.
you keep him too.
You let him
He's a
rock.
serviceable
You let
backup
him
quarterback.
rock. If not, you trade him, and I don't even know. I don't even
Why
know.
wouldn't
I
you
just
draft?
don't-
Why
if
would
I'm
you
a
draft a
GM,
quarterback and let
I
him
don't-
compete?
Who are they going to draft?
Why would
Who
you-
are they going to draft?
I mean, there's no.
Who in
there's
this
no,
draft is better than Jalen Hurts?
Oh
Who
my
in this
God.
Yeah,
upcoming
well,
year?
oh my God.
Who would you like
Kenny
them to take?
Pickett?
Yeah,
No.
I want him on the Steelers bad.
He's very good. If he goes to Steelers, that's a problem, by the way.
That is a problem.
Sure,
It was a
awesome.
I can agree with that.
You're telling me you're
But
not
the
taking
Steelers are
Sam
probably
Howell
still-
over Jalen Hurts? I know Sam Howell's. I know his stock decreased this year because his team is horrible.
Exactly.
He's just as good of a runner if you watch UNC games, and he's a much more accurate passer.
You're talking about college
It's
games.
college versus the NFL.
Okay, we'll see.
Whole different ball game.
Jalen Hurts got benched at Bama for Tua, and you guys don't even
And
like
Tua
Tua.
stinks!
Exactly!
College to NFL,
Exactly.
way different.
Tua
Way
stinks!
different.
Way
From that
different. Way different.
Okay, all right.
The
Whatever.
guy that got benched is now a better NFL player than the guy that came in for him.
Fact. That is a fact.
I hate the Eagles more than anybody because I had a parlay that relied on them to win my last leg for $1,500, and they took out Hurts when they were winning to make the Giants miss the playoffs.
I mean, he was playing like shit to that point, too.
I hate the Eagles, but I think Jalen Hurts is who you go with. I just do. If you build around Jalen Hurts, you get a better defense, you get some receivers. Why not? Run the dual threat with Miles Sanders, little what is that called? The double option, read option, couple
Read
passes. You're fine.
RPOs.
You're fine. But he
Okay.
believes in Lamar Jackson, though.
What do you got for
I don't
key
know if I
games this
believe in
week?
Lamar Jackson. Like, I don't ever think Lamar Jackson will make or win a Super Bowl.
So you think they should?
I'm just saying, if
so
I'm-
you think,
like,
so they should replace Lamar Jackson this draft.
No.
That's the point you made. The Eagles will not win a Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts.
He's
so they should
unanimous
replace him.
MVP. Like, if there's ever going to be a mobile quarterback that'll do it, it's going to be Lamar.
It's not even worth
So
arguing
the
the point.
last point I'm going to make. You said Lamar Jackson will not win a Super Bowl, but they shouldn't replace him.
I
You
don't
said
think he will.
Jalen Hurts won't win a Super Bowl, but they should replace him. That's
Why are we comparing Jalen Hurts
So
to Lamar Jackson?
flawed.
Like, why are we even
So
comparing them? They're
flawed.
apples and oranges.
No, they're not.
They're not.
They are.
They're not.
Kyle, you said one QB will not win a Super Bowl ever, and he should be replaced. One
Right.
will not win a Super Bowl, but should not be replaced.
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts-
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
That doesn't make any sense.
None.
How?
None.
How?
Because both.
Do you think
Neither of them are going to win a
do-
Super Bowl. Kyle, you got to
do-
stick with
do
a
you
guy
think-
who's not going
Do
to
you
win a
think
Super Bowl.
Dak Prescott will ever win a Super Bowl?
Yes.
You do.
Yes.
You honestly think he'll ever win a
Yes.
Super Bowl?
Future.
Yes. 100%.
I think Lamar could, honestly. I guess you hate running
I think the
quarterbacks.
Cowboys win a Super Bowl in the next 3 years.
I
My
guess
favorite
you
football
hate-
player
I hate
of all
the
time is
Cowboys,
Cam
but I
Newton.
think they win
I
a
guess
Super
you
Bowl in the
hate-
next 3 years.
They should have won a Super Bowl
Yeah, I know, but they didn't.
Oh.
They got dominated because Cam Newton couldn't
because
throw
they
that.
faced an
game.
amazing defense.
Cam Newton couldn't pass on
They
him.
faced
That's
an
my
amazing
whole
defense.
point. It comes back to you need to throw the football to win. And Cam Newton couldn't do that.
We're just in too many. There's so many goalposts we've moved at this point. It's just
Okay,
fun.
well, let's move on to Week 12 outlook.
Yes.
So we have 3 Thanksgiving games. We'll start with Bears -3 to the Lions. I mean, Andy Dalton is going to be the starter. Justin Fields is hurt. Matt Nagy just found out that he's going to be fired after the game, which
No.
to me doesn't
Wait,
make
what?
sense. You didn't know that?
He's getting fired after this game.
Yes, which makes no sense. Why would you just fire him now? Because if they beat the Lions, you're firing him after a win,
They
which
didn't want
also
to ruin
makes no
his
sense.
Thanksgiving.
They didn't want to ruin it.
That's fair. Give
Or
him
they
a
could
thing-
fire him now and give him Thanksgiving with his family. But
Yeah, right?
maybe they just don't want the.
This is the
They
game
wanna
the
save him the
Lions
embarrassment
win.
of-
This is the Lions' one win.
Wow, that's
This week.
That's impressive by the Bears front office. They want Matt Nagy to have the pride of coaching on Thanksgiving rather than going home to his family and being the fired head coach at dinner. That's pretty impressive.
This is the one game the
I'm
Lions
surprised
I
it
have
lasted
Lions
so
money
long.
line as my top
Yep.
pick.
Lions win.
And that's
I
the
don't know why
thing.
I
Like,
just said that.
I think this is. I've seen a lot of times the Lions have been heavily bet this year, and they just haven't won.
Yeah.
Like, I think Lions too.
I'm on
I think the Lions win
Give
too.
me the
but,
Lions
like,
this week.
I feel like 95% of the public is going to be on the
That
Lions.
is very true.
Yes.
And if we
Give
see
me
the way the
Lions.
NFL is gone, that means it's going to be lost.
We're
But
doing this with no knowledge of the public bets. That's
no, that's
a
true. I'm
disadvantage.
assuming.
That's
I'm
a
assuming.
disadvantage for
Give me the
us.
Lions.
I'm assuming. Okay,
Well, I like the Lions as well.
I like the Lions also.
Oh boy,
That's the issue.
Bears are going to win by
Next,
30.
that's my point. Next game, the 4:30 game, Raiders versus Cowboys. Cowboys -75.5. Excuse me.
What?
Or 7.5. I'm
I
sorry.
mean,
75
I was
and a half.
like,
Give me that bet
I was
all
like
day.
passing. I was hiccuping in the middle of it. So -7.5. I'm sorry.
I like the Raiders with the hook. They're going to lose by 7 or less.
I don't buy in. I don't buy in the Raiders at all. They
I
kept
don't
it close
buy
to
in
the
the Raiders.
Bengals, but the Bengals in the fourth quarter ran away with it.
I don't think the Raiders have it.
They have nobody to throw to besides Darren Waller now.
One of my best bets is the Cowboys -7.5. I think the Cowboys roll. I think they.
I would
Judge
pick
the
the
Cowboys
Cowboys,
either.
too.
I took the Falcons that 1 week and they
I
embarrassed
think
me.
they roll.
I would pick the Cowboys too. I think the Cowboys. I think Dak turns it around against a defense that's going to be on the field and get tired very quickly.
Yeah.
I think Dak figures it out, and they go as Dak goes.
I agree.
And the entire public will be on the Cowboys. That's why I'm taking the
Also
Raiders.
true.
Also true. Last game we got, the 8 o'clock game. Bills -5.5 against the Saints.
Bills roll.
I also think the Bills roll. They need a big game.
Yeah.
And I don't see Trevor Siemian moving the ball.
I'm pretty good on reading the
Not
Bills.
good
I
as
took
well.
the Bills against the Jets 13.5, and they crushed. So
Yeah, I like
I'm going
that
to stick
too.
with my Bills.
We're all going with Bills?
Yep.
Okay, all right. There it is. Those Thanksgiving games. So now we'll get into the Sunday games, and we'll start. I don't want to start with this one. I've talked enough about them. Patriots -6.5 at the Titans. What are you guys thinking?
I like Titans +7.
By the point,
Give me the
half point.
Pats. Give me the Pats.
I'm with Christian. I think the Titans are frauds, and yes, I do think the Patriots are a good football team. However, I believe it's in Tennessee.
Yes, it is.
And I think 7 points at home, too much. Mike Vrabel knows Bill Belichick more than most coaches in the league. Played for him. I think it's too many points at home. That's my thought process.
Give me the Pats. I'm not betting against the Pats, so.
And I also can't put my money on Mac Jones. So, Rams Packers
Mac
to pick
Jones
them.
can just take my
What are we
money.
thinking?
Packers.
I mean, this is a coin flip in my opinion.
The Rams.
It is
The
a
Rams
coin
are
flip.
coming
I'm
off a
just
bye
gonna
week.
pick the Packers.
Rams are off a bye week.
I think Odell ruined the team already.
Are?
Mhm.
Oh.
I think Odell ruined the team already. Get him out.
I'm taking the Rams here.
Aaron Rodgers coming off a
They all know they have
loss
to win now.
Vikings.
This is a must-win game for the Rams.
I think it's a must-win
take
for the
the
Rams,
The
too.
Packers have
Exactly.
the division
Give me the
unlocked. The
Packers.
Rams do not
Give
at
me the
all.
Packers.
I think I probably,
Give me the Pack.
if I bet this game, I'll
Underdog
probably
runs faster bet.
I probably would
Parsons
bet it in a
special.
teaser. I'd put Rams to like +6. I wouldn't bet it. I don't think I'll bet it straight.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd probably do them with a teaser in another game. Just because it's a pick 'em, it's a coin toss, like you guys said.
Give me the Pack.
It depends what Matt Stafford you get.
Yeah.
You know?
I like the Rams.
I lean Rams too.
I mean,
But
I don't like them, but I have to pick one. So
next game, divisional game, Browns versus Ravens. Ravens -3.5 at home. Baker, we don't know if he's playing yet. He could be getting benched for Case Keenum. That probably impacts the line here. What are we thinking going into
I
this game?
have no idea.
This game is awful. Too.
I thought the Browns were going to be the team to beat in our division this year. They clearly are not that. I don't think they're as good as everyone thought they would be. They're relying on their run game. Baker Mayfield's obviously hurt. I think Baker Mayfield is not a good quarterback, and I will still take the Browns.
Kevin?
After all that, you're still going to take the Browns.
Yes,
Really?
the Browns. It's a divisional game. It's
It
always
is a
close.
divisional game.
Divisional games throw all.
Isn't it in Baltimore?
Divisional
Baltimore.
games throw
And
everything.
that's the thing. Like, Baltimore's a 3.5 point favorite. You get 3 points for being a home favorite.
Divisional games throw all
basically a
analysis
half
out the
point
window.
favorite.
Like,
Yes.
look at the Saints beating the Bucks. Divisional game. You don't know what's going to happen. The Browns are going to. I'll take the
You know-
points, but I think they're going to win.
I'm going to take the Browns with the points too.
He just convinced you.
Yeah.
See, and this to me, like,
I think the Ravens are the luckiest team in football.
I could be
also,
wrong.
I do agree with that.
I could be wrong here, but like you look at this line, you're like, oh my god, Ravens -3.5 is so square. But the fact that all three of us are going Browns makes me think it's not. But like how do you watch the Browns last week beat the Lions by 3 and take the Browns
The
here?
Ravens barely beat the Bears.
But
With
I'm not
letting
big on the
them
Ravens,
Lamar.
and
Yeah, that Lamar.
I think
I mean,
Baker plays.
The Ravens had to have a 69-yard field goal to beat the Lions.
Right, that's true. I think Baker plays. I think he's going to be a week healthier, hopefully. I think it's a big game for him. He's being questioned in Cleveland.
For my
And-
sake, I need the Browns to win, so the Steelers have a shot at the division still. But I'm not. I don't want to get into the Steelers.
I think the Browns can do it.
I don't want to get into. The Steelers.
I hope so. I think just pound the ball down the Ravens' throats. Kareem Hunt might be back. Just run at him. Don't even let Baker throw the ball. Let Baker throw 23, 25 times. Just run the ball every play.
I still think the Ravens are due for a trend backwards.
I do too. I mean, they got destroyed by the Bengals, who were a divisional game.
Yep.
You know.
That's true.
All right,
Yes,
last
good
point.
one we're going
Ravens,
to touch upon. We got the Bucks versus the Colts. Colts are +3. Bucks are a 3-point favorite. I believe it's in Indianapolis. So, what are we thinking on this one?
This is my favorite game of the week.
To bet or to watch?
Both.
As a football fan,
No,
it's going to be a great game to
In
watch.
terms of my opinion on it, I'm strongest on this game.
Okay, what are you thinking?
The Bucks.
Bucks?
Everyone looks at the Colts like, oh my God, they're the best team in football. And you bet them. Everyone, when public opinion goes one way, you go the other.
100%.
The Colts come off a huge win against the Bills. They're due for a comeback down to earth type game. The Bucks haven't been doing great lately. They just came off a good win against the Giants.
Good point.
They're ready to get tuned up for the playoffs. They're going to win.
100% agree.
I like the Bucks. I'm on the Bucks.
Okay. And here's the point I have to make on why
It's
I like
in
the
Indy,
Bucks. Yes, it is. But here's why I like the Bucks. Do you guys know who the number one run-stopping defense is in the league?
The Bucks.
The Bucks.
Their
And-
D-line is nasty.
They
Devin
didn't-
White is the best linebacker in the NFL.
Exactly. And
Definitely
they didn't play Vita Vea last night against the Giants, and they held Saquon Barkley pretty much most of the game.
Poor Saquon.
Vita Vea is one of the best run stuffers in the league. He should be playing next week, I would assume. I think Jonathan Taylor, as much as I love him, I think he has a tough time next week. The game is in Carson Wentz's hands. None of us believe in him. I like the Bucks as well. Get back on
Sweet.
track here.
Very good. We agreed on a lot of those. I don't know if I like
We
that.
did. That's probably a bad sign. So
fade us.
yes. So now we're going to get into our... Gavin and I will give our best bets recap of last week, and then we all have best bets to give for week 12, upcoming week. So I'll start with my recap, Gavin, and then you'll go.
Over there?
Yours are on a different sheet right here. So there you go, top right. So I'll start with mine. I had the Saints last week. I'm going to call it as a push, though, because I had them in my best bet before Alvin Kamara got rolled out. So in turn, I ended up not betting him, so I'm going to count it as a push.
Well, you said it.
Yes, but I thought Kamara was playing.
It doesn't
So
matter.
how does it not matter? He's a top 5 running back. Changes the whole complexion of the game.
Don't make a pick if you don't know who's going to be playing.
Well, we filmed it
Well,
earlier.
then you got to stick by your pick.
It's a push. It's a push.
It's on the record.
The Jets lost. Thought Joe Flacco could do it. I was wrong. Jets are a great bet this week, though, by the way.
My God. When does
Wilson's
it
Don't
stop?
ever listen to
When
Great
does
that.
it
bet.
stop?
Great
I heard
bet.
that they hired his trainer because Zach Wilson's fundamentally out of it.
He looks horrible. I've
That
been
is
saying it the whole time.
That's not what you want to hear.
Have you been watching the podcast for the last 8 weeks?
He's pulling a Markel Fultz. You forgot how.
No, literally, he literally is. That's a good comparison.
That's
Zach Wilson looks horrible
That's so
on the field
sad
right
that
now.
you're getting
Mechanically.
mentally. Wow, that's sad.
He mechanically looks horrible.
You lose your mechanic. You're down bad.
Yeah, he is.
There you
And then I had Bengals -1. They beat the Raiders, as we saw. Go ahead, Gav.
I'm at 3-0.
Wow.
Yes, he did.
Did not watch the show. Great for you.
Bengals -1. Obviously, Kyle did that too. Niners -6. I thought that was the easiest bet of the week. And then the Washington football team +3.5. That
One
was
outright.
right.
Very nice.
So we'll take that all day.
All right, Christian, we'll let you start for our Week 12 bets. What do you got?
Alrighty, my best bet of the week is the Bucks -3, as we previously said.
Mhm.
My second best is the Bills -5.5, as I previously stated. And the third are my Steelers +4.5. I think they went outright, but I'm going to take the points. I know my own team pretty well. I don't bet on my team, but I'll give them out as a pick on this show. I like them to win. I don't want to discuss the Steelers because we all know that's going to turn into a deep rabbit hole of shit. I think
We're saving that
the
for
blown
Jared's
coverage
home.
against Mike Williams is inexcusable. They should have won that game. There was 3 minutes left, tie game. They were on the 30-yard line, and they lost the game. And, they tied the Lions the week before, so, can't get much worse than taking the Steelers.
It's fair.
You want to go or you want me to go?
I'll go. Falcons even over the Jags. I think that's pretty straightforward. I don't really feel like I need to explain. It is in Jacksonville,
That is a game I did not want to touch.
but
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I
it's
think
a
the
shit show.
Falcons. I think the Falcons. By a touchdown or two. I hope at least. I might be wrong. I went
Funny
3-0
if they
on my
lost.
bets last week, so I'll probably go on 3 this week. Then I got Carolina -1.5 over the Dolphins. I don't think the Dolphins can do anything. I think they're a joke of a team.
I like that, actually.
So, and I think Cam Newton. I mean, he played pretty well last week.
He did. He
I didn't mind how he played.
He looked like he could throw a lot better than I expected. Didn't look like the Patriots Cam Newton, I'll tell you that much.
He showed up. So I'm gonna ride with them. Let them go -1.5 on that one. And then, like I said earlier, Cowboys -7.5 over the Raiders. I don't think the Raiders have a damn thing to even come close to the Cowboys. Raiders are sad. They're sad.
Um, My best bet of the week, I'm with Gavin. Panthers -2. I'm on it as well. I think 2 was outrageously bad. I think the Dolphins are a lost cause at this point. Brian Flores might be in the hot seat. I think the Panthers have more to play for. They're on the outside looking in the playoffs, but if they get a win here, they're back in the race.
This is what I love.
And I believe in Cam Newton.
See, this is what I love. Whenever a team doesn't perform up to expectations, the coach always goes first. Hence my Mike Tomlin argument. But that's for another day.
Say that for Jared, please. I don't want to get into that.
You know I'm right. The coach always goes first every time.
That's when we're bringing the boxing gloves
So
out.
Panthers -2. My next one I like is Steelers Bengals under 45. After week 10, if you bet unders in divisional games, you are going to hit more often than not. That's
Steelers are
statistically
great,
proven.
Excluding last week, Steelers are a great under bet.
If T.J. Watt, Minka Fitzpatrick, and Joe Hayden all play,
That's
which
good.
I'm expecting
I
they
shouldn't
will,
have taken them. If they're out, I don't.
I'm expecting they're going to play. They're all listed as questionable right now. They're off the COVID list. They're questionable with injuries, which in the NFL questionable more often than not means you'll play. I like that under. Joe Burrow, I love him, but he'll have a hard time on this defense. Steelers obviously can't move the ball.
We also lost to the Bengals the first time, so I think they're pissed.
Right. My last bet, my third best bet is, again, another divisional under in the same division. Browns-Ravens under 46. Baker Mayfield's struggling. Ravens have a good defense. Lamar Jackson, all the Ravens do is pound the rock. Browns defense,
That's gonna be
not a big believer in them,
that's gonna
but
be a
I think they just pound the rock. Don't believe in Baker. I think the Browns just chew clock, like I said earlier, with Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. I think it's a very low-scoring game. I think it's a...
Remember the Lamar
21-17
game?
ball
That was
game.
a shootout.
Was that last year?
Yeah. I forgot about that.
New team this year, new Baker. So, take the under in that. Divisional under, can't go wrong with that. Those are my 3 best bets. Anybody got anything else you want to add?
No. I want to say the Vikings are going to win. I just want to throw that in there.
Really?
I think the Pats
They're
are
gonna
also
beat the
covered,
49ers.
but that's just...
That'll be a good game.
I'm not going to bet it, though.
The Vikings are going to win.
I mean, honorable mention, Jets. Jets will beat the Texans.
But,
I don't know.
I don't know about that either.
By the way, Elijah Moore's a stud.
I picked him up off
Elijah
the waivers.
Moore is
He's a
good.
stud.
I'll give you that.
It's about time we start giving him the ball.
You got a real quarterback back there.
All right, and that is all we got for our Week 11 recap, Week 12 outlook. Come back next week. We'll let you know how we did, and we will look into Week 13. Thanks for watching.